Do you remember yesterday's story about the boy who cried wolf and how he lied so that the villagers would come and take care of him while he was bored? We'll continue that story today, and while we're doing it, we're going to remember that reading is thinking, and as we're thinking about the story, it helps our brain grow. Hopefully you remember that you made a prediction about the boy who cried wolf and what will happen next. A prediction is when you think about what might happen next in a story. Fortune cookies are supposed to make a prediction about what will happen next in your life. They're a lot of fun, and sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. And it's the same for us. When we read a story, sometimes we'll be right and sometimes we'll be wrong. Before we get to the story of the boy who cried wolf, let's play a little game. I think you're going to really like this. A long time ago, I traveled to the country of Romania, and in Romania there's a province called Transylvania. That's right, it's the Transylvania that was made famous by the Dracula stories. When I was there, I bought this box. It's a mysterious box. Can you make a prediction about what you think is in this box? There's a little button here and it opens on the top. Ouch! A snake just jumped out of this box and bit me. That's probably not what you predicted because this box is designed to trick people. But that's okay. When we make predictions, it's okay to be wrong as long as we have based our prediction on some smart thinking. Do you want another one? Take a look at this old book. I picked it because it's so thick. When I open to the first page or two, look at this, regular words. I bet you didn't predict bookworms, but that's okay. When you make a prediction, right or wrong, you stick with it until you find out what the true answer is, and then you adjust your brain. See, this book is a special one that I glued together and then cut out a middle part so I could hide things in it. See how fun making predictions can be? Now it's almost time to see how the story ended that I started reading to you the other day. Open up your reading journal and look at what your prediction was so it's fresh in your mind. Keep your journal ready because after I've read this part of the story, you need to write down how your prediction was the same or different than the way the story really ended. If you need to, pause now and gather all your things. Then continue on so that you can hear the rest of the story. And now for the conclusion of The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Hello again, and we're going to finish up the story of the boy who cried wolf. And just a quick review, there was a boy who's asked by his father to be in the field with the sheep, but he was very bored. And so one day he says, I know how I will get past being bored. I'm going to shout out that there's a wolf. And so he did, and when he did, the villagers all came running. And he tried to convince them there was a wolf, but some of them didn't believe him. And then it happened again. It happened a second time, and fewer villagers came. And then the mayor said, no, if he calls out again, don't go and help him. So here is this version that finishes up this story. And I'm going to back up just a little bit. A few days later, a wolf really did come from the forest and dashed into the middle of the flock. Help, help, the young shepherd shouted in terror, for he had nothing but a shepherd's crook as a weapon, and he knew he could not overcome a huge, fierce wolf with that. And here's where we begin the end of the story. The villagers paid no attention to his cries, but went on with their work. The boy started to run toward them, shouting all the way, and when he came to the village, he found the mayor standing in the doorway of his house. "Why did you not come when I shouted?" the boy demanded. "A great hungry wolf came and killed several of my lambs." "I'm sorry to hear that," the mayor replied, "but you have deceived us twice, and we thought you were deceiving us again. If you want people to help you when you are in trouble, you must call for help only when you really need it. No one believes a liar even when he speaks the truth." And that's the moral of this story. No one believes a liar even when he speaks the truth. So if somebody is known to be a liar, and then they suddenly need to tell some kind of truth, well, people aren't going to believe them. Now, this one ends, actually we don't really even know what happens to the sheep, but this one ends a little bit differently than some of the other versions. And so your prediction may not have been exactly like this one and how this ended, but it might be like one of the other ones. In this one, the boy runs down the hill and the mayor talks to him sternly. In some of the other versions, the boy actually gets eaten by the wolf. In some of the other versions, the boy and the sheep all get stuck up in a tree while the wolf circles around below and you don't know what happens next. There are several ways that it ends differently. However, today what I'd like you to do is take this version and go back to your journal, and I want you to write a sentence or two saying, how is your prediction the same or different than the book? Now, you're not going to erase your prediction because predictions happen in the past. We don't erase them. We just adjust them. So you just adjust it. So you might write, I predicted the boy would be eaten by the wolf, but in the story, the boy was actually told by the mayor that he shouldn't lie even when he's bored, or something like that. So use the end of the story to help you, and you can pause this if you need to. All right, I am out of here, and I hope you can get that work done soon, and you have a very good day. In your reading journal, write about how your prediction was the same or different from the story.